back to my channel and welcome back to week 3 of the Seek, Gather and Create Summer Edition challenge. This is a scavenger hunt challenge that I run over with Tina, Laura and Mel over on Instagram. You can find all the details there, or I'll put some details in the description down below. Each week we ask you to find 4 different items and then use them in a project in some way or another. So this week we asked you to find something red, a leaf, something smooth and a repeating element. This time round I am working in little boxes, and for my elements this week I have found some red thread, a silk leaf, I picked out a handmade stamp for my repeating element, and then for something smooth I've got a piece of acetate here underneath. Right, let's get started. Let's just move that out the way. I'm going to start by adding some gesso in this to start, well, making it a little bit firmer and easier to work with. Just grab a paintbrush and start getting some gesso down, creating a nice base for me to work on. So, I hope you're all well. Over here we are into the last few weeks of the summer holiday. It's absolutely flying by. I can't believe it. I really can't. And my youngest daughter is starting secondary school in September, so it's quite a big deal. It feels really weird that I'm going to have two kids in big school. Makes me feel a bit old. So we're all getting ready and prepped for that, getting all of her uniform bought and all of the bits that she needs. So I'm gonna be doing this, and then I'm going out shoe shopping to try and get her some school shoes ready. Right, that's that gesso. Let me give you that a quick dry. Okay, that's dry. Now I did think about putting some collage and different texture in there, but I think this week I'm going to kind of keep it relatively simple. So I'm going to grab my stamp. This is one of my favourite handmade stamps at the moment. And I am going to just stamp in this repeating element in the back of my box here. And not forgetting the sides as well. I don't know whether to do more than that or just leave it at the bottom. So I do the same, but let's do the same but upside down on the other side. Yes, so shoe shopping, which I think is the last thing we need to do. However, my eldest daughter is off babysitting my niece and nephew at the moment, and she needs some school shoes too, so it might have to be a double trip. We'll see. Okay. I also feel like I need to put in a few here so that all sides are covered, and that's a definite repeating element then. Do I want colour on this, or do I want to leave it white? There we go. I might leave it black and white, you know. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to have the leaf kind of suspended, maybe with the red thread on there, and then using the acetate to cover it up, like so it's sealed. That's my thoughts. Let's see. I might get some words to put on the leaf actually, so bear with me, I'll be back in a second. So just on my typewriter I've put "the wind dances with every leaf it meets." I kind of feel at the moment the weather is lovely. It's very warm here. The rain seems to have stopped, but it is quite windy and blustery, so this kind of suits. I mean, I know I've got an autumn leaf and we're not really there yet, but I like the colour. I like the colour of the autumn leaf. So just chopping this down, I might just chop it down a little bit more and maybe ink some of those edges. Oops, sorry. So I'm just grabbing some ink. This is just Distress ink in Vintage Photograph. And just going around the edges of those words. Don't know if I'm ready for the school term to start September. It's it just seems to have flown so quickly, and I've got a busy September coming up. That reminds me, I am starting my virtual art journaling course back up again in September. If you fancy joining me, it's I've got a 4-week course via Zoom where you can just come along and do some journaling with me. It's a different sort of prompt and different techniques every week. I'll put the details down below if you fancy coming along. It's very informal, we just chat, you know, set yourself up, get yourself a cuppa and come along and do some journaling with me. I think that needs to be slightly further up, but I've put it there now. So I'm just using some Fabri-Tac glue there just to stick that down. Ooh, can we see that? The wind dances with every leaf it meets. Okay, so now I'm going to get my thread and I'm going to try and sew that so that it's suspended in the box. So this is just embroidery floss. And I'm going to probably keep it at its thickest so that the red's quite vivid. We'll see. So just put a knot in that. And I'll get started, but obviously you don't want to see me, oops, sorry, knocking the camera, see me stitching the whole thing. So I'll get started just to show you what I mean. And then I'll come back to you. So I'm going to come through I'm thinking about halfway down. Yes. So I'm going to come through the box. I've put a knot on the end. And then, whoops, I'm going to catch the leaf like that. And then go back through the box. But, I mean, it's a little bit fiddly because you've got to keep it loose like that. But all the way round, I'm just going to keep stitching until it's suspended. I'll get on with that and I'll be back in a mo. Okay, here it is all sewn in. I absolutely love that. I think it's turned out really well. You can just see I've got some stitching around the sides there. Now, I've got my repeating element, I've got my leaf, I've got something red, but I do need to include something smooth. So I'm just going to grab this acetate here. I'm going to draw around my square. Like so. And chop that out. I did think about stitching the acetate on, but I think I don't actually want to detract from the red stitches on the leaf. My idea originally was that I would stitch this all the way around, but I'm thinking I'm just going to glue it on to the edge, that way around, like that. So although it's something smooth and it's not very obvious, it is there. It's there. So let's just use some Fabri-Tac glue along the edges of my box. Oh, come on, glue. I'm just running it all the way along the very edges of my box, and this will dry clear, so it's fine. There we go. So bit of glue all the way around. And then I'm just going to lay my acetate down on there. I might need to trim it just here and there. Just holding it in place. Just a moment or two while it catches. Yeah, there's a tiny bit which I'll trim, but that, can you see the shininess of it there? So there we are. That's week 3 done. So next week is our last week for the summer edition. So I'll meet you back here next week. Take care. Bye.